when I first saw Muggleton's dick.
And with that bombshell, it's the 2-minute Terminator. Hi everyone.
Oh my God. Why'd you do this to me?
Because I always like to begin the show with the tail end of one of your sex stories, a bit like the cold open of a Bond film. It reminded me of the time I saw Muggleton's dick. That's all we'll say on that matter. Hi everyone, I'm Ethan McKinley, and it's the 2-minute Terminator. It's episode 20.
Music.
Where we... Okay.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay. No one cares.
No one cares about your stories. You. Hello everyone, your charming host here, Ethan McKinley, with the Terminator 2-minute Terminator podcast, the T-32T, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. We're going from minutes 38 to 40, the 2-minute gap, bridging those two time codes.
Time frames?
Time frames, time codes, meh. What is time? Who knows?
Time schmime.
And it is episode 20. Welcome to the show and thank you for joining us. If you have only just joined us, please check into the other 160 or so episodes that you've failed to listen to. Apart from the Real Doll one, which is like breaking listener records, quite frankly, just because it has Real Doll in the title.
Maybe the picture as well.
It begins with Arnie riding in the truck and climbing into the cab side of... I think John Connor's...
In the gayest leather pants you've ever seen.
With laced up sides. He climbs into it's not really John Connor's truck, but it's the Ford Tundra kind of veterinary truck that was at the clinic. And it ends with Arnie going, yes, it was to eliminate your lieutenants, as he recounts the story. When he catches the part of the story, actually, this time, to John Connor, when he goes, hey, do you not remember me? Cyberdine, Hasta la Vista, baby. And he's like, no, that was a different
teach
model.
you everything all over again.
Yeah. I order you to learn more. So what nuggets, Ellie, have you gleaned from this clip?
I think it's a really lame bit of acting by Stahl.
It's better than me.
I could do better than that.
Well, you could. You've got natural performance abilities.
But this guy, this is what he's paid to do. Yeah. He's in Terminator 3, for God's sake.
Well, maybe the role's dried up because he's had a few crack cocaine problems, as we discovered in a few previous episodes to this show.
I just think it's a really, really, really weak performance.
Maybe it's the curse of John Connor.
Maybe. Oh my God.
Because there is the curse of Superman. Do you know that, right?
Yeah. Not everyone in Superman, but there's been loads of really mysterious deaths and accidents. It's like The Omen as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, George Reeves, who played Superman, this is a job for
Christopher
Superman.
Reeves?
No. Originally in the
the original.
There was a serialized version of it. There was a Fleischer cartoon, which was the first thing really that was committed to film, I think. The next thing was the George Reeves Superman, and he kind of like. There was a radio version, and then there was the George Reeves Superman. He was played actually by Ben Affleck, who played George Reeves and his tragic life in the film Hollywoodland. But
hate Ben Affleck.
Yeah, George Reeves became span out of control and became an alcoholic. Then Christopher Reeve obviously had that terrible accident at an equestrian event where he fell off a horse and broke his neck.
And 8 baby fetuses.
And Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane, went a bit crazy and they found her in a hedge.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she went a bit crazy. I think she had a problem with some kind of like antidepressants or painkillers. There's actually a documentary called The Curse of Superman. I will try and
Had she met Muggleton?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try and.
They found her in a hedge.
I'll try and find the documentary and log it onto the homework section of this show, basically. But then once again, we have Edward Furlong. I don't know. I think weirdly, we'll get to him in a minute. I think Dean Cain had a few a bit of a problem with drink as well. He played Superman in Superman and Lois in the 1990s. So.
Oh, he was so wet. He was like the Roger Moore of fucking
Superman. Yeah, but Roger Moore is amazing.
Ugh. No.
Why?
He's just smarmy and lame and wet and just not a badass at all.
Whoa.
it's like Bond gone gay. Well, ever since I was a kid, apparently when I was like 8 years old, I'd be like, ugh, pink James Bond, not interested. Never liked the Roger Moore ones.
No, well, he's my favourite James Bond. I'm sorry.
Also, the women in the ones that he was in weren't that great.
How dare you, Barbara Bach?
No, not feeling her.
The woman from For Your Eyes Only.
the woman. Normally it's me that doesn't know the names of actors and actresses.
Well, you know what? Tanya Roberts. She was amazing then. She's the girl from View to a Kill, and she's still amazing now.
Which one is that?
Tanya Roberts. She's
View
like
to a
60.
Kill. Isn't that Timothy Dalton?
No, that's you're thinking of Osaka, which is the one that Mel Gibson went out with and had the giant flaming fallout with. That's Osaka someone. She dated Dalton and had some, I think, according to Mel Gibson in the tapes, she's got some form of like retarded son, or he's got some form of like mental problems.
Oh my god, those tapes are amazing.
He's like, your son's a mess.
So
you can't even raise your stupid freak mess of a son. You're a mess of a mother. And that kind of got to her.
I just love it when he's just belittling her boob job. You look fucking stupid.
Foreign bodies in there.
Tits. It's like, what's that got to do with anything?
If you want to get raped by a pack of Schwarzeneggers, that's up to you.
Oh my god, I'm not joking. Okay.
So I did that.
Breaking away. I made a call today, so I'm working in recruitment, and it's literally sucking the life out of my ass. But it's fine. I'm resolving it. I'm literally in the throes of sorting my life out. But today I had to call up this company to see if they had any vacancies. The guy I needed to speak to wasn't there. It's a fob off, but anyway. And I said, "Oh, can you give me the name of the guy I need to speak to?" And they're like, "Yeah. It's I can't remember his first name, but you wouldn't remember it after the next name." I said, "Can you tell me his surname?" And the guy went, I'll spell it out to you."
I don't know.
Nigger. So I just went, "Oh, okay. So his name's the nigger." He went, "Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy you need to speak to." Okay, see you later. Bye. It's like, oh my god. Do you reckon their calls are recorded? He wouldn't even say it. But that is legitimately someone's name.
Well, good for him.
So when I call him up tomorrow, I'm going to go, "Excuse me, can I speak with Mr. Jigaboo, please?" Sorry. But technically that is his name.
I know. That was the last episode of 2 Minute Terminator. We got shut down for Ellie's racism. 2 Minute Terminator does not endorse or condone any of the views expressed by any of the guests or co-hosts on this show.
Soz.
What do you think of the clip anyway, Eleanor? It's a bit of exposition. The first thing I will point out to any of the viewers who are actually watching this clip is there's some blue screen work. Some of it's okay, some of it's bad.
No, it's bad. It's all bad.
But there's a slight fudgy apparition next to Nick Stahl.
The outline of the characters, yeah.
Yeah. And he goes from having a dirty window, then it looks like the window's down, but it's actually up. But they just clean the window, basically. But yeah, there's a
cleaning her dirty windows.
There's a slight blur around Arnold's head and a slight blur around Nick's head. Jump in any time. You know what? Let's get to the trivia. Sorry, listeners. It is difficult to communicate over Skype.
Before we do trivia, can I say my qualm? My first qualm.
Qualm.
Yeah, qualm. The TX, when she stands up out of the wreckage that is the lorry or the truck that's just been kaput, that's broken in German, and she looks at the little paddy wagon that's speeding off into the distance. It's actually not that far away. Robert Patrick would have run his ass off and caught up to that car or that van, and yet she just watches it drive away. Now, again, if she has these crazy speeds and cat-like reflexes, surely she would have just run after that thing, no? But no, she just stands there and does that weird kind of dog head tilt.
You mean she'd be fast enough to run after and catch the truck and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Okay, that's my qualm. Let's go on with the trivia schmivia.
Bing, bing, bing.
That's. You sound like the kid that works in the
I'm
fast
not even
food
supposed to
shop
be
in
here
Simpsons.
today.
Trivia, schmivia.
Well, I think this will come to no one's surprise, basically. The hook on the front of the crane, in some shots, is digital.
Oh my.
Well, thanks. That's really amazing.
Digital, is that the same as CGI?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. You just thought you'd throw us off by adding a different technical jargon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not CGI, it's digital.
Ellie, are you
Why
anywhere
would-
near the 2-Minute Terminator Facebook page?
I can be in a heartbeat. Why?
You might want to check it out.
Oh God.
What? Yeah, I was going to say, as we're moving on, the first piece of trivia I'm going to say to you, basically, John asks the Terminator, do you even remember me? Cyberdine, Hasta la Vista, baby. In the narrative, John thinks the new Terminator is the same Terminator who came back through time to protect him from the T-1000 in Terminator 2, and had forgotten that his previous Terminator protector
You bastard!
sacrificed his life. Ellie's weekend adventures are on the Facebook page of 2-Minute Terminator.
Oh God! Well, no, that's the face that I'm not pulling right now.
He was like,
that I
terminate.
should have been pulling 6 months ago.
He was like, terminate this.
Terminate this. So I TX that shit.
Did you reverse the line and go get in as opposed to get out? So anyway, as I was just saying, John is actually convinced this is the same Terminator that came for him and was lowered into the mortal metal in Terminator 2 when he was 10 years old, not 13, Terminator 3. So the Terminator replies that the first Terminator was different. It was a different T-101 completely, not just in terms of model, but a completely different machine. They are not the same Terminator, and he confirms and answers John's question, but they come from an assembly line. This obviously was... didn't really need to be said in a sense, I guess, unless you've not seen any of the previous Terminator films. But yeah, he is in fact a different Terminator, and they are made on an assembly line. Now, I would have thought, why would you manufacture the same looking dude pretty much for all your Terminators? Because you only have to get...
I was going to say the same thing.
Only have to get recognised once in the future war,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't be able to infiltrate...
Got loads of photos of him.
Yeah.
Ah.
The T-101 Terminators were all built by Skynet, and all the same prototypes look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the T-101s all look like Arnold's. I can only imagine the other T-800s are different. Now, if you go back to...
army of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, if you go back to
Good
Terminator...
Lord.
Do you remember Terminator 1 when Carl's having that
Yeah.
future dream, and that guy comes into like the underground stronghold and shoots the dog, and he's shooting off that laser weapon, and you can
It's
see like the red
Franco
eyes.
Columbo.
Yay! Well done, Ellie. Wow. I'm just going to stand down, and from the show, you can take over. That's amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh.
Well, it's because it's bodybuilding and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know that stuff. My dad's met Franco Columbo, but let's not go about Tony now.
When did you meet Franco Columbo? This is good for the show. Your dad met Franco Columbo?
Yeah, he came over to the UK because my dad used to.
All right, that's enough of that. Anyway, let's go on to the cock-ups.
Cock up Ethan's butt.
Okay, yeah. Number one, after John crashes into the back of the sedan, they look back to see the police are coming. Now you can see also the red car with the damaged rear light, LHS. Mm-hmm. Then moments later, the crane truck crashes through the wall and the red car is not damaged. Then the crane hits the red car, breaking the rear light. So it's all done in reverse. These cock-ups are here because I really thought there was so many cock-ups in episode 18, it would have like crippled the show. I apologise. Cock-up
Crippling
number
cock-ups.
2. After the crane chase crash, the amount of dirt and grime on the passenger side window of the truck behind
Passenger.
Connor...
What is wrong with you?
What? What did I say?
Passenger. What's wrong with your S's, man?
It's quite hot in this room and I need a drink.
It's the heat.
I think it's sight reading. It brings my lisp out.
Pash. Stop taking the pash.
In the crane chase scene, The amount of dirt on grime on the passenger side window of the truck behind John Connor changes with scenery. Well, I already mentioned that. Forget it, Sean. I apologise. Number 3.
Cock up.
The crane chase whilst the T-101 is climbing into the vet van from the roof. We can see briefly down the street that there's a corner approaching and there are buildings just ahead of them. After the crane chase.
Oh.
So after after they clear the street, you can still see the same street after it's all done and dusted.
I see what you mean. Continuity error.
So you see that, and then, however, when the TX emerges from the rubble and looks down towards them driving off, they are now on an open road with nothing at all ahead of them.
Yeah, that's definitely a cock up.
So he looks back, they're on the street, all the carnage.
He looks back.
And then all of a sudden, it's lovely weather and nothing really is happening.
Plain sailing.
It's just plain sailing.
I have another qualm.
Go on.
Qualms. Why would the Terminator, I'd say tilt, rather gentle word for the way Arnold manhandles poor Stahl's head. He pulls his head back to bing. That's the cock-up noise.
It is. It's cool, isn't it? It's a Facebook notification. Everyone's going crazy over your picture.
Oh, God. You say everyone. That's one person. Yeah, why does the Terminator have to yank John's head back to look like up into the roof of his mouth to find out if he's got any damage?
Any what damage?
Brain damage.
Well, I think if you suffer from brain trauma, apart from having bleeding ears, I think you get like gin blossoms in your eyes, so all the veins and stuff. So I guess.
But why does he tilt his head back and look through his mouth? He can see straight through him.
No, I think he's looking up his nose for nosebleeds and any trauma around the eyes.
But can't he just see straight through his head? He can scan all that stuff.
Well,
Surely
yeah,
he'd just be able to do some kind of, I don't know, internal X-ray vision scan.
Oh, I'm the best at captions on the 2-Minute Terminator page, aren't I?
You're also not focusing.
I know.
Who needs to focus when you can expose a friend's escapades on social media?
I know. You are like the Terminator. You travel back in time in the quest for giant dick. It's so sickening.
Travel back in time.
That's not part of Terminator. Shut up. Cock. Oh God, here we go. Cock up.
Cock up. Bing, 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 bing.
The crane chase. In the crane chase, Ellie, the outriggers for the crane are extended in some of the shots and not in others. That's the same but slightly different cock up from the last episode. I apologise. Cock up number 5. Bing, 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 bing. The Terminator was meant to say we must reacquire Catherine Brewster instead of require. Arnold says require Catherine Brewster, not reacquire.
Okay.
And that's the end of the cock-ups.
Oh.
So anyway, on to the clip. What say you, sir?
I've already been talking about the clip. You're the one that's been shunning the clip. With all your schmivia and your cock-ups.
He's not looking up his nose, Ellie. I think he's looking for trauma around his ears.
I didn't say he was looking up in his nose.
And in his eyes.
I said he's looking up into the roof of his mouth. Because he opens his mouth, he yanks his head around, he opens his eyes, and then puts his head down. He's like, no, you got no brain trauma. It's like, well, surely you should have been able to tell that straight away just from looking at the geezer.
Yeah, do like some super zoom on his eye sockets or stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if they could do all that... You know, we see the beginning of the film, he zones in on that man who's sat on the door and you can see his pants and everything. And, you know, that's going through clothing. A few layers of skin should be no large feat for a Terminator. So he shouldn't really be...
Do you want to see a cock-up I've just noticed?
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure how this works, however you're watching this, listeners, if you're watching it on Blu-ray or DVD or you're watching it on a VLC media player conversion clip like I am. Because, well, the reason I say that is because if you watch something on, like, Blu-ray and then you watch a file on a computer of the same film, one will be slightly longer or shorter than the other by a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
So if you saw a movie, let's say you saw Terminator 2 at the cinema, and it was 2 hours, 30 minutes on a projected screen through a projector off film, off a negative, When you have it on home video or DVD, it might be 2 hours 20 minutes.
Oh.
I don't know how, because the film seems like it's the same speed, but tiny little frames are lost in terms of time. So
why would that actually be, though?
I don't know. It's just to do with video formats, basically. You can still watch the same film and go, oh, that's exactly the same film. Nothing was missing. Nothing was compressed or squished. It wasn't slow or fast, but it will be markedly slower or faster. I can't remember which. Than if you saw it at the cinema, if you saw it on, DVD, if you saw it on like videotape or a computer file. So on my VLC computer file of Terminator 3 at 38 minutes 52 seconds, the road going past John Connor when he's talking to Arnie is going by pretty fast, I think. When the camera's on Arnie at 38 minutes 55 seconds, the road is going much, much slower out of the window.
Oh.
Now it's going faster with John. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it just seems it's going faster on his side than it is Arnie's side. Yeah, much, much slower.
Well, again, that's just rubbish blue screen, though.
I don't know. I mean,
the blue screen is terrible.
You'd hope that if they were
considering for when this movie was made, like it's actually genuinely shocking.
No, I think it's pretty good. I didn't notice until actually studying this clip that it was blue screen when I saw the slight fudgy line around John's head where they've tried to I guess.
Yeah, but Ethan, you've only ever seen this film once before.
I know, but we're seeing it in grim detail essentially, aren't we?
I know, and it's detailing that this film is grim. It's just bad. I also don't think that the wear and tear on the Terminator's face actually looks that great.
Well, I think they really go overboard with it at the end of the film. We'll get to that, of course, in future episodes. But they take so much of his head away just to show that they can do it. It does look good. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I know what you mean, Ali, because there's a bit on his cheek.
Yeah, that bit looks really obviously fake to me.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't see silver there, would you? It'd be a hole, because there's no plate metal. There's one on his cheek, so you go, okay, I understand he's ripped his cheek, so you can see the plate metal through it.
Would they not make the skin a bit thicker as well?
The hole just below that. Well, obviously, I think in this, the makeup in many ways is better because it's more refined. So you can, I think in the second one, they kind of built the makeup off his face.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, they digitally take away stuff. So they put blue screen or green screen strips on his face later in the film, not here. But I think they take so much of his head away with that, it kind of looks not as good for some reason. You lose part of his character.
Yeah. Also, something else I found with this particular Terminator, it'd be interesting to see, because again, I've only ever seen this film once at the cinema. What a waste of time that was. The Terminator at the moment, it'd be interesting to see if he develops throughout the film. He's very, very, very much kind of a robot at this point in time. Even when he's talking, he barely looks him in the face. And it's all very kind of factual, as opposed to, let's say, how he developed in Terminator 2. Or would that be because they took the chip out of his head in Terminator 2, so he was a bit more, I don't know, had more of his own kind of personality, maybe?
Well, according to that Terminator Wicker, that you can access his chip easily by pushing a button on the side of his neck behind his ear, I think, on the right side.
Okay.
So maybe they've programmed him with a little bit of stuff. I mean, the end of Terminator 2, which wasn't shot, but they put that sequence in Terminator Genesis at the start. The Terminator goes through, and then they have to get to the time displacement equipment. They grab the nearest Terminator and just kind of quickly reset the system and then send it through, don't they?
Yeah.
But obviously that was too expensive to show, so Cameron never actually got to film it. And they actually did that scene essentially in Terminator Genesis, where they kind of get a Terminator. Well, they send Kyle through, but in the second one, it would have been grabbing a Terminator off the factory line rack, doing something to the chip, switching it on, switching it from evil, and then sending it through. They didn't get to do it, sadly.
I just had this mental image of you doing all of these things in a proper faff.
My arms are windmilling as we speak, so yes, you're kind of right.
My arms are flailing wildly.
My arms are flailing.
What's that from?
I don't know, get rid of it. Do you want anything else? Add anything to this clip, Ellie? After your big weekend?
We have another moment of a woman portraying just how youthful and awesome they are. Arnold's asking her, Have you sustained any injuries? Are you okay? She calls him an arsehole. Well, that's nice.
She's like, get
It'd be so
bent.
satisfying just to shot that thing in her face. Stupid ginger bint. And the last thing I'd like to say is that scene where you see them driving through the desert. That kind of reminded me of that scene at the very end of Terminator 1, when you see her driving off, and you've got like the desert with the road going through it.
Yeah.
I just thought it just made me think of that straight away. And he's saying, "I'm going to take you to a secret location." So, is the secret? I can't
Dogging
remember
with the Terminator.
in this bathroom.
I know what you mean about the clip, because it looks very kind of matte painting-y, doesn't it?
Yeah, and even when... So let's say... oh, wait, I think that might have just gone a little bit over. Oh, okay, so when we're on the 39:47 to 48, okay, so I'm going to stop it there. You're focusing on the Terminator, but Nick, who's in the foreground, he's so blurry.
Well, the camera, unless there's a split focus lens, I think, on the camera, you can't get both characters in focus.
I know, I totally agree, but I know, obviously it's...
Because it's Arnold's line of dialogue, the camera's got him in focus.
I get that, and obviously it's the same with photography. If you're focusing on something in the background, you're going to lose the foreground. If you're focusing on something in the foreground, you're going to lose the background. But what I'm saying is the actual quality of...
The sharpness of the image.
Yeah, it's really fuzzy. It's almost like he's not actually there. It's almost like behind him is a blue screen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, I don't think they're actually in the desert doing a driving scene. I think this was all completely...
Oh, quite obviously not.
I think Arnie was like, I want all my money. I'm not going to leave LA. And it has to be done between 9 and 5 every day.
And I must look crystal clear.
I'm not doing full days. So I think they just had to do amend. And I think literally all of this film pretty much is like a lot of very studio based. The car chase looks like it was done in a...
Bring back the old school shit effects, man. If you're going to do it like that, do it like that.
I couldn't agree more.
Bring back the thing. Oh, I was watching a cartoon. I've seen this brand new cartoon. It's kind of in the same realm as South Park, and it's called Rick and Morty, and it's meant to be Doc and Morty from Back to the Future. And Rick is basically you, Ethan. So funny. This crazy mad scientist. But I was watching it yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, this dude is so like Ethan. And oh shit, I've totally lost my point. Bugger! I got so wound up in Rick and Morty. Right, it's gone. Save it for the next time.
And on that bombshell, we shall return with episode 21, which is minutes 40 to 42. I've been Ethan McKinley, your host.
I've been Ellie Fitzgerald.
And we'll be back.
Hasta la Vista.
This is the 2T3T.
T3TT.
Ah, shut up.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm stupid in my head.